To conclude my bachelor degree in interpreting and translation, I decided to focus on the role of the interpreter within the main international organizations such as United Nations, European Union, and FAO. We can define an international organization, paraphrasing Professor Marchisio, as the set of associative forms of international cooperation created by states through international agreements in order to achieve common objectives through the performance of humanitarian activities. In 1907, as a starting point for the creation of modern international organization, the League of Nations was created. After the Second World War, organization considerably increased, and an impulse of their growth resulted from the need to preserve the human race and the planet. In the world, there are several international organizations that have economic, political, and military cooperation as their main objectives. The most famous organization among them is the United Nations. This organization has fostered peacekeeping in the last 70 years and has worked to improve people's living conditions, protecting human dignity. European Union is one of about 250 intergovernmental organizations that exist in the world today, and it is an international political and economic organization with a supranational character. It includes 28 independent and democratic member states. We have also to take into consideration United Kingdom, and the process started from the referendum in June 2016, according to which United Kingdom could leave the European Union. Finally, FAO is a specialized United Nations agency aimed at increasing nutritional level, improving people's rural lives, and contributing to global economic growth. This paper will consider the role of the interpreter in each of these international organizations. This professional figure must adapt to the language regime adopted, which changes in each organization. We need to take into consideration when we talk about official languages and working languages. To recognize the proposed languages as official languages, certain criteria were adopted, including the number of people speaking this language worldwide, the number of states in which the language was recognized as official, even if the main reason was undoubtedly the winner of the determined state during the Second World War. Within United Nations, the official languages are Chinese, French, Russian, English, and Spanish. With respect to European Union, the language regime decided to recognize all the languages of its member states as official languages, with 24 official languages. Within FAO, official and working languages are the same: Arabic, Chinese, English, Russian, French, and Spanish. On the other hand, working languages are the languages from and to which the interpretation services were provided, and it is only through the establishment of the impressive language translation and interpretation services and the spread of simultaneous interpretation technique that it was possible to increase the number of working languages within the organization. United Nations and European Union recognized as their working languages English and French. International organizations tried to reduce during last years the widespread use of English at the expense of French. For the European Union alone, we must also consider the treaty's languages, those languages which, according to the definition of the social linguist Norman Labrie, correspond to the languages in which the treaties have been drafted. Once the linguistic situation of a particular organization has been taken into account, the interpreter can work according to the technique of simultaneous interpretation, a technique used for the first time during the Nuremberg trials, and which in 1947, with a UN resolution, became a permanent service, replacing consecutive interpretation. This technique, in fact, offers, compared to consecutive technique, a more precise and immediate performance, reducing the time. FAO tends to use consecutive and chuchotage techniques in small meetings, while during important conferences, also this specialized agency of the United Nations is equipped with a booth that allows to provide simultaneous interpretation. I have finally focused this paper also on the analysis of multilingualism. Although the fundamental trend within the organization is an increasingly use of English at the expense of other languages, linguistic minorities need to be protected. According to this, especially European Union recognizes the right of every member to express himself in his own language. The European Union has always considered different culture and languages as a source of wealth. Multilingualism within international organization represents the countries' and cultures' plurality, and it is for this reason that the use of a single language would impoverish this cultural richness.